Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gemini Crypto episode 1052. Today is Friday, January 13th, 2023, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10-ish, and today's top story is Gemini and Genesis charged by SEC with selling unregistered securities. Winklevoss slams SEC charges against Gemini as a super lane manufactured parking ticket. 800 victims of massive Bitconnect fraud to receive $17 million in restitution. Crypto.com CEO announces 20% staff cut. Did not account for FTX collapse. You know we're talking about that. Crypto lender Nexo is back in the news as they want to sue Bulgaria after those office raids. And Miss Universe contestant represents El Salvador with Bitcoin-inspired costume. But first and foremost, Bitcoin Zay, what is going on with those prices?
Oh, yeah. So our prices for today, Bitcoin, huge jump over the past few days at $19,020, up 5.4%. Ethereum at $1,410, up 2.1%. Binance Coin at $287, up 2% as well. XRP at 37 cents is up 1.4% today. Cardano sitting at 32 cents is up 1.8% today. Dogecoin sitting at 7 cents is up 3.1% today. And rounding out the top 10 is Polygon at 90 cents, up 3.5% for the day. And some of our trending coins include Shiba Inu, up 6% today. Bitcoin, of course, up 5.5%. And Fetch.ai, up 29%. And I have an inkling that AI-focused projects are going to get a huge boost in this next bull market. So it's not surprising to see Fetch AI start taking off when other coins are.
Everybody's been talking AI right now.
I mean,
I've been seeing everybody's been talking AI.
If you want to make some quick ICO type scam money, just make an AI coin in the next bull market. That's what everybody's going to go for.
AI token. There it is. AI token.
Yeah.
That's all you got to put. Shiba AI Shiba.
Just make a shitty website, and at the top, artificial intelligence reimagined with crypto. Literally, that's $2 million ICO right there.
You know, if you want to pump it with another zero to get it to 20 million, let's go ahead and do a artificial intelligence ICO backed by an algorithmic stable coin tethered to Bitcoin with a lending average of 8% with an addition. with some DeFi. Quantum resistant. Yeah, there we go. Quantum resistant blockchain that's scalable, faster than Bitcoin, and this DeFi. All right, now we're talking about a token. All right, there we go. That's a website. That's a website right there.
And it's backed by Novogratz and Tom Lee from Fundstrat. So you know,
hilarious.
And Mark,
I'm about to cry. All right, some quick shouts going on. Zyro, Timothy Grigsby, what's going on? Long time no see. John Lewis. J So 85, shout out to Zulu, BK Boring, Best I Raised, Humney Developer said AI DAO is staking 2,000% rewards. There we go, Humney. Jake Fever, what's going on? Kadeem K, Shiba AI Baby Doge in new verse feed. That is hilarious. Raj Shu, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. Breezing, what's going on? And called BitBoy to pump it ASAP. He said, "You are hilarious." Good morning, welcome back to the show, everyone. Of course, today is FBF Fuck Bitcoin Friday. We don't want to stall you out. If you have any smoke for us, if we got something wrong, we remember some of you Ethereum folks popped up. A few more people said Terra Luna was not a scam. If you all want to reminisce on some of these old happenings in the crypto space, feel free to call in live. Please have your video on for the internet's entertainment. Makes it more fun. But that live stream link is in the chat. So we got anything wrong or you got some smoke for us, feel free to call in. I got one of y'all wives online, didn't know. Oh, well, call me live. Let me know. Let's see how that go for you. Either way it goes, we all got to go to the same place one day. With that being said, top story of the day. Gemini and Genesis is in the news as they're both being charged by the SEC with selling unregistered securities. This is crazy. I mean, this is the SEC simply.
Turn that up. Hey.
They just hating. I guess what's his name? Gary Gensler, Mr. Burns, as you call him. I guess he was like, you know what? I can't afford to guess this wrong, and you all want to make a public stink. Y'all both doing illegal shit. The charges relate to Gemini's crypto asset lending program, Gemini Earn, according to the Securities and Exchange Commission. And this reminds me of what was it, Menace to Society, when he was like, you didn't fucked up, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is that, because it was like the SEC, like potentially the SEC could have only been looking at DCG because of their debts and stuff. We know they're under investigation and all that. But then Gemini was like, no, we do that program together and they owe our people, like, because technically it's our program. And now the government is looking at them and they're like, yeah, well, hold on. They can do it better than me. This is the government. This is the government.
Yeah, it was 12:15 exactly. If I'm not mistaken, it was 12.
You see something? Now you see now. You done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
I
See what I'm saying?
I thought.
No, so you know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
Yeah,
Hey, listen, that right now is Gemini and Genesis, according to the SEC. They are not playing no games. Was that able to be shared? Did I share that one? I think I shared that one.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I hope I didn't miss it. But what's going on with this story here? This is crazy news.
Oh yeah, crazy news. Three Gs, Gensler, Gemini, and Genesis going at it, and it's basically like if you got two kids who are fighting and you wasn't there to see who started it, you just punish both of them. So looks like Gensler is putting a smackdown on them, is spanking it. Gemini and Genesis. They on January 12th they charged cryptocurrency lending firm Genesis Global Capital and crypto exchange Gemini with offering unregistered securities through Gemini's Earn program. As we stated yesterday, Gemini started taking their name off of Earn. They would just put Earn by itself. They wouldn't put Gemini Earn anymore because this is what they were probably scared of. In December 2020, Genesis, a subsidiary of crypto conglomerate Digital Currency Group, entered into a deal with Gemini to offer the exchange's customers the yield-bearing crypto product. Then it was launched in February 2021. And of course, under the agreement, customers could loan their crypto to Genesis under the promise the latter will repay the loan with interest. Genesis had full control over how it would earn a yield to repay Gemini creditors. And this amazing tweet, which I actually have his tweets, I get the notifications, saw it when it first came out. He basically came out and said, we charge Genesis and Gemini for the unregistered offer and sale of crypto asset securities through Gemini Earn. And this is why I call him Mr. Burns. Good old Mr. Burns. Because
Bro, you are hilarious.
this has been going on for 2 years now. This is literally a 2-year program, and they did nothing the entire time. They didn't have any, and they said they were investigating them for months, or that, and we'll talk about Winklevoss in a second, what he said. But basically, if I can get you both at the same time, this is what people don't understand about these any of these earn or interest bearing products. The SEC could charge anybody with unregistered securities at any time. The job is to not get on their radar. And the problem is the way you get on their radar is when you lose billions of dollars of people's money, because their job is to protect investors. The way that they put it out there is that they're doing it to protect investors, I should say, and it promotes trust in markets. It's not optional; it's the law. So I think he was mad at the heat he got because he didn't do anything about FTX. So he's coming out a little bit early to try and solve this. But this might be the first domino in DCG. Remember, we called it here at the Gentleman of Crypto. This might be the first domino that falls where DCG gets the light shed on them. Like, hey, Genesis is huge. This could be a big portion of their company.
I would be interested in hearing your thoughts live. So during the coaching class the other day, essentially, we had a trading class on Wednesday. We were looking over some ghost trades, which went pretty well, by the way. But we were looking at this weekend to adding actual tokens we want to become stakeholders in, looking at the portfolio. And my only thought was that while we just had this intermediate pump right now, of course, Bitcoin just pumped essentially from 16.8 to now 19,000. Altcoins are following suit. It's like, well, we could be catching a pump fake, especially if the United States moves forward this investigation against DCG and then now Gemini. I didn't even see the Gemini one happening.
Yeah.
So you talking about, and I don't, right, that's cap. I think Gemini's cap. We'll talk about that. But the DCG one's a little bit more real because like that money is owed. And if it's technically the contract says, Gemini is using you guys to do this or whatever, then that money's owed. So if that falls, then the entire market could fall behind it. So this is one of those dangerous times in the market. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think this is a dead cat bounce at this point. I think, like I stated yesterday, I said the first pump, this is the initial pump before the final drop. This is what I think is going to get people interested in thinking, maybe I may be able to get some quick profit off of this, or I may need to buy in now before I miss it. And in actuality, all it is it's just loading up shorts, like the BART chart, which I put into the Discord. Don't forget the BART chart. The BART chart, his famous saying, "Eat my shorts." What that means in trading terms is it's always a small pump. It goes straight up, and you're like, "Oh man, we gained 15% over the last week." It goes sideways for a bit, and then it goes straight back down to where it was a month ago or 2 weeks ago. And that's called a BART chart, not just because the shape is like Bart's head, but when he says "eat my shorts," that means that all that's happening right now is short sellers are loading up their is loading up on as many short contracts as they can. They're like, yeah, we're just gonna keep taking out short contracts all the way to 20K. As soon as the smackdown happens, right back down to where we are, maybe even further. Because I can promise you, the effects of FTX aren't gone. The effects of Celsius and Three Arrows Capital and all these companies isn't gone. But I can promise you, if DCG goes down, you have Genesis, and if Gemini, I don't think they're going down, but if they have to basically tell all of their customers, well, we can't pay you back, or maybe not for a few years, that's going to have a big effect on the market. People trying to sell assets in order to pay off cash fines, that could all affect the market. I think we're still going somewhere closer to 10K.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm with you on the dead cat bounce. I'm thinking stay still. And my thoughts too, again, we're looking toward the happening on this too. So we have more of a long-term approach, not super long-term, but a little bit long-term approach. So my thing is a couple things. First, from a trading point of view, can the price point right now be slash 15%? And I think that's an easy yes. So no matter what, already in the back of your head, you have to say, all right, whatever the asset I'm looking at right now, like 15% less, it will hit that at some point here in the next few months. So you can look for that as an actual entry point, or you can just dollar cost average and say, whatever, when it dips back down, whatever, I'm going to keep going into it long term. That's if you actually believe in that asset and what that project's doing. So a couple of different thought processes on that. Satoshi Slim said, Gemini caught me off guard. I thought they were heavily fed to begin with. Now they're getting that shoulder tap, mind blown, boom. So same thing here. But with that, let's go ahead and continue this story and talk about, I believe it's Cameron again that's back in the news. But Winklevoss slams SEC charges against Gemini as a super lame manufactured parking ticket. Oh, this is actually Tyler today. Tyler, both the twins. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. What? Bro, we brothers. We out here. Hey, holla at me. Oh, my goodness. Yes, I love to see it. There we go, twins.
King, who do you think will win in the fight? The Winklevoss brothers or the Tate brothers?
Bro, I give them to the Tates on that one. But I don't know. Winklevoss, like people were saying, there were some rowers, there were some athletes. They might be able to take a couple slaps across.
That's what I'm saying. Might have a little something to them. Who knows?
But shout out to Winklevoss twins for continuing to put up this fight in crypto. Tyler today, Winklevoss is hitting back at the SEC, charging Gemini, calling the action totally counterproductive in a series of tweets. And I agree. Again, and like this, people, you all need to open your eyes. And this is why we do really talk about this type of overreach and regulation of regulators who literally cannot regulate the traditional market, but they're trying to regulate something even more confusing that they don't understand. But at the end of the day, these are American companies. Like the Winklevosses, they went to Harvard. Like they are trying to be, they were rowers. They're trying to be your blue blood Americans. They brought their exchange to Wall Street to try to get it regulated. They did not have to do that. They could have set up shop in an assortment of islands, as many others have done. They did not have to do this. They stay in New York. They're trying to, quote unquote, do it the right way. They're trying to play by the government's old rules. They're trying to play fair with the banks and make all of this work. They're trying to be blue blood Americans, fit in and get in with the good old crowd, which they're in for the most part. And you still have our government charging them with fraud and securities. It's like, no one else stands a chance. People, do you understand that? Like, if they're getting it, no one else stands a chance. And the sad part about this is our own government doing it to our own companies. These are the companies that pay for you, Gary Gensler. Like literally the Geminis of the world is what allows you to have a job and for us to have all this infrastructure we have in the United States. We're going after these companies. I agree with Tyler Winklevoss. This is totally counterproductive. And as they say here, this is a super lame manufactured parking ticket. And shout out to the Winklevoss twins for having enough money to literally pull a Wolf of Wall Street and piss on that subpoena, because this is a super lame manufactured parking ticket. But again, that's Tyler Winklevoss, the co-founder of crypto exchange Gemini, speaking as he was hit out at the regulator, charging the exchange over issuing unregistered securities, calling the allegations super lame, and a manufactured parking ticket. What else is going on with this whole back and forth between Gemini's earn program and this regulator coming after it?
Oh yeah. So Winklevoss, he shared his disappointment about the charges over Gemini's earn program,
I just saw
claiming
this
the
too.
regulator was optimizing for political points. He called the action totally counterproductive, and he said that, and this is important, people, that he had been discussing the earn program with the regulator for more than 17 months.
Wow,
That
they
is
over
why you
here
don't negotiate with terrorists. They
for
did
real.
everything right.
Keep trying to play. Keep trying to play.
And see, this was our message for regulators. Every time we talk to regulators, they would always say, "You need us, and you need that, and you need." And the reason we always push back is because they do just like the mafia. They use you until they don't need you anymore, and then they essentially kill you.
Hey,
Exactly.
listen, they firebombed the restaurant. Gemini had a nice little restaurant business that was going. Hey, yeah, we'll work with you. Whatever you need every Tuesday, boss. Every Tuesday. And then, hey, you know, FTX just went down. It was COVID. People aren't coming to the restaurant this week.
Oh.
Yeah, we know people not coming to the restaurant this week, but we still need our money this week. But there's no customers. We've been working together for 17 months.
Yep.
From
buy you out.
Nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
17 months, Bitcoin's at.
17 months. They've been working with him a year and a half. And they still got them. And that's what I'm saying is that these people are not your friends. I know you don't, people, they want to start exchanges and they want to do stuff. You should always look at them as frenemies. And never at any point should you think that you're above the law because you did something. No. You're almost part of gang, but you're not quite there yet until you're sort of in the BIS, Davos group. Speaking of Davos, before I continue on with this, they are meeting this weekend. It is hilarious if you look up Davos, how many landed in Switzerland, and they're about to go there and talk about climate change.
All that energy, all that climate change energy.
All that climate change energy to get there. But Winklevoss and them, they're not in that crowd. That is the crowd that they need to be a part of. But just to finish off here, the Earn product launched in February 2021 and officially ran until January 8th. And of course, this allowed people to earn yield, which was apparently legal, which is the problem. And the Earn program was regulated by the NYDFS, and we've been in discussions with the SEC for more than 17 months. Forget what you've heard about these regulators being your friends, that they're just trying to come in and clean up the market. No, they're not. They're trying to come in and take advantage of a market that is bringing in money that they can't really control, and you just keep handing over control to them. If every single exchange owner gave a FU to the regulators, not saying that this would work, but technically if they all said FU, they would have to basically take down the entire industry, which is impossible.
Right, they would have to take down the market. I think it will work, to be honest.
But that's never going to happen. As long as there's jail and money involved,
I was about to say,
never going to happen.
Them first 50 CEOs that go to the clink, boy, it's over. They're going to tell them, hey, bro.
It's just not going to happen. It's like most movements. If everybody did the same thing, most stuff wouldn't even happen in America. Like if everybody decided we're not going to use one product or not shop at one store, they would shut their doors. But everybody doesn't agree, and it's never going to happen. So they got to go along, get along. And
what you mean you ain't riding? What you mean you ain't riding the bus today? I gotta get to walk. I gotta go get to walk. You ain't riding the bus. I gotta go get them flipping them burgers today. You ain't riding the bus. Talking about y'all ain't riding the bus today. I'll be on the bus. And I'm going to sit my ass in the back.
I know. I'm taking this jab. I need my job. Job.
Right? I need this jab. Exactly.
I need this job. Yeah.
Want to look at these tweets real quick. I think these are important. Tyler Winklevoss is disappointing that the SEC Gov chose to file an action today as Gemini and other creditors are working hard together to recover funds. This action does nothing to further our efforts to help earn users get their assets back. Their behavior is totally counterproductive. I actually agree with the Winklevosses. Again, I've used Gemini for a while. This is not an official cosign or anything, but I truly believe they are trying to help customers get their funds back. Maybe not for all the right reasons. We're just like, we just want to make sure everyone walks away, on a positive note. Maybe it's just like to save their own skin. But regardless of the reason, I do believe they are really trying to get customer funds back, which is why they've been pressuring DCG privately and now publicly as well. Second tweet, as a matter of background, the EARN program was regulated by the NYDFS. I didn't know that. So if that is the case, I mean, do I even need to go into my tangent right now, people? Haven't you heard enough of them? But the EARN program was regulated by the NYDFS. So literally either next door or in the same freaking building as the SEC. And we've been in discussions with the SEC about the EARN program for more than 17 months. They never raised the prospect of any enforcement action until after Genesis paused withdrawals on November 16th. Again, that is wrong in of itself again. Like, so Gary Gensler, and this is the honeypot you all keep following with the government. They were going to essentially let you make all your money with the EARN program, and either something goes wrong or everything goes perfectly right. But either way, they were going to come with the bill. The bill, if everything went right, it might have been a regulation issue. It might have been it still would have been a regulation issue, but it wouldn't have been a charge of securities fraud or selling unregistered securities as much as it would have been some other thing they made up and made you pay for. But instead, you all failed. So now the bill comes with an actual charge. Despite these ongoing conversations, the SEC chose to announce their lawsuit to the press before notifying us. Super lame. I agree if that's true. It's unfortunate that they're optimizing for political points instead of helping us advance the cause of 340,000 earned users and other creditors. We look forward to defending ourselves against this manufactured parking ticket. We will make sure this doesn't distract us from the important recovery work we're doing. But seriously, what is the point or urgency here? The EARN program has been shut down for almost 2 months. Again, I agree with this as well. If this were the case and it's been shut down for 2 months and they were working with NYDFS, like, why are we waiting to do this? And then he goes on to say, of course, he's worked with regulators, which is true, and Bitcoin's at 19K today. So I'm not sure and just talking about America, where we see in our government or in other companies where they get that in depth. So or CEOs are that transparent. So it's something to kind of think about right there. He's being very transparent. He's reachable. I cannot say the same for Gary Gensler or Barry at DCG. These people have not been transparent. They are not reachable. So the proof is kind of in the pudding. Like, it's one of those things like, oh, I need to get in touch with one of the Winklevosses today. It might take me 3 or 4 people to get in touch with them. Oh, I need to get in touch with Gary Gensler and figure out what the fuck they're over there doing. Or DCG or some of these people that owe creditors. Guess what? Not only can you not get in touch with them today, you can't get in touch with them like for most of the year unless you fly to DC and really post up at the doorstop of the office and press them. It's crazy, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is quite unfortunate. We got OMAC on. OMAC, hey, we got a couple minutes. How you doing today? What you got for us?
I'm doing all right.
Today's a smoke day, just to let you know. So if you don't got smoke, we definitely got to keep it short.
Hey, look at this way. When it comes down to the Winklevosses and everything, they got to save face. You have to understand that this is going to be the second time in their business history that they've been shanked out again. First with Facebook, and now with Genesis. If going forward in the future, who's going to want to be behind the Winklevoss twins if they keep getting jammed out?
They need to hire them in the crib. They need that muscle behind them, all right?
No more
Thumbs up, baby.
Hey,
Thumbs
hey,
up and
hey,
go
King,
for it.
King,
But
no more Gemini parties in Miami. No more mansion parties.
Yeah. I mean, because like, think about it. If this don't happen to you the second time, and each time he keeps getting bigger, it's basically showing somehow potentially a lack of their due diligence. You know what I mean?
That's true. That is true.
I mean, if you got knocked out of billions in Facebook, and now here come billions again inside of Genesis, where what's going on with your due diligence to be knocked up that many times? I mean, I would not want to take any part of my company or any one of my other ventures over to the Winklevoss twins, because I would be concerned it's going to be the third time, and I don't want the third time to be with my money.
Ooh, that is an excellent point of view that I had never even considered before.
Right. Yeah, they got to save face.
But you're right. You're actually right on that. I agree with that. They do need to save face from an institutional point of view. Right. Yeah, banks and stuff. Hey, you're right. They're not about to give you $20 billion. Y'all keep taking L's out here. They're like, hey, y'all need to. I agree with you. That is kind of crazy point of view to look at it from. That's happening.
And then they, last year they wound up starting a band and
I was
all
just
this
about to
stuff,
say,
basically playing gigs.
I'm pulling up the video
But,
right now. Literally.
because
Don't
because
stop,
Looking real goofy.
baby.
They looking real goofy. Is that what you're telling me? They looking goofy.
Hey, Google it
hey,
real quick, King, because you got the sound on your side. Winklevoss playing on stage. They literally are on
Okay,
stage singing. It looks
hold
like
on, hold on.
karaoke. Don't stop,
I thought that's what billionaires did,
baby.
though. Wait, I thought that's what billionaires did when they
Yeah,
got
but you
paid. They
gotta do
started doing.
you gotta do due diligence first. You go to work before you hit the bar. You
yeah,
can't if you're not on
I mean,
tour.
I mean,
Oh man, hold on. This is crazy. Hold on. You all are
I can't
hilarious.
believe you never seen this video. I got
No,
it
I
saved
have
on my
not.
phone, but
This
oh
is
no,
new.
it ain't good. It ain't good.
All right, let's
It ain't
see.
good.
Let's see. What is this about?
y'all think my singing better.
It's all good.
He's singing in B flat.
All right, all right. That
Mm-mm.
is definitely a song that gets everyone singing at the bars.
You stopped
San
it before the
Diego.
best part,
That's
before you hit the high
that's.
note.
I know that's what I did. That's San Diego's theme song right there. Let me tell you. I didn't know that. I'm with you on that. This is going to be interesting to look at. Let me ask you this: how do you think this is going to play out there?
I think what's going to wind up happening is because number one, at least they have a track record that they were working with the SEC during that time period. I think this can be resolved. I think for the Winklevoss, it has to be resolved because if it doesn't get resolved somewhere in a neutral state, then they're going to lose more than just this. They're going to lose even more because it's going to be very difficult for anybody, institutional wise, to basically get behind them. I mean, like at this point, if it goes negative for them, they can pretty much just basically pack it, just being blunt.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's my feeling.
Honestly,
So, yeah.
I kind of would, and this is what always it comes down to like how many billions do you need? I honestly would pack it up. Like I said, they had a good run. They had again Gemini 4 years, 3, 4, 5 years, maybe even
Mm-hmm.
5. I would say 4 years. Had a great run. All right,
Mm-hmm.
SEC's throwing that target on your back now. I mean, what other plays do you have? If you're going to do an exchange, you have to be fully registered. We know a lot's going to
Mm-hmm.
come with that. And if you don't go that direction, you know you can't do things like lending and everything. So it's just one of those things where if I were them, it might be time to take something off the table and sit it out for a year and come back. But we know that's probably not going to happen. And it's going to be like the Wolf of Wall Street when that regulator walked back in. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
meat's back on the table, baby. We got he's back in the game.
Right. I mean, look, I completely get their scenario, but they are going to have to do some extreme level of fighting. They're going to be even more aggressive. I mean, like, look at all of the stuff that's posted, all of the language, all the verbiage. This is not a lawyer pen. This is a I'm pissed the F off type scenario. They are basically all of their language. This is fraudulent. This is this. I want you to resign. Do you know how rare is it? How rare it's ever is for a public facing company to tell another CEO, I'm demanding that you resign. That
Yeah.
is extremely rare because number one, CEO to CEO, that's general to general. Two generals talking are usually talking, and that's usually a private conversation. Even if you're pissed off. I had a large teammate that basically screwed up something. Hey, that cost me a lot of money. Didn't make it public, but I definitely went to their CEO, say, hey, look, this like what happened. For him to put it out there publicly like that, that's one to basically let everybody know flat out. The gauntlet is basically put down and we are going to fight. In other words, I'm not going to get bent over the way we get bent over like with Facebook.
Yeah.
Flat out, that's what that's
They
There
coming
got
it
to
down
is.
to.
now. Yeah, man. They being tested.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
to. They have to.
All right. Well, OMAC,
Yeah.
much appreciated call as always, and have a happy Friday to you.
All right.
All right,
Peace out,
cheers,
brother.
Happy
cheers.
Friday. Hey, King, can we just what is
You want to
wrong
hear
with
the
these
rest of it? What's up?
no, I'm saying what's
Oh,
wrong
okay.
with these billionaires? Like it's hilarious to me. Like we just both said, it's like you hit a few billion, just take your money. You won the game of life and money. Take it, go away. And the main thing is you got them singing on stage. You got Novogratz getting tattoos. You got SBF getting snitched on by a Muppet. I mean, what are these billionaires doing?
And sex houses. SBF got the
Yeah,
sex
yeah,
house. Don't forget.
yeah. And then looking at some
Hey,
dirty feet in sex houses in the Bahamas. I mean, what is wrong with you? And again, I'm not saying that the billions are liquid. We all know they're not. But if you get to a certain point, say for instance, you had 3 billion worth of stock options or 3 billion worth of whatever in a company, and you start seeing the SEC come around. I'm liquidating at least 3/4, and I'm out of here. All right,
Listen,
cool.
what
Well,
it's only
let me
gonna be
take my
600 million? Better than zero. Let's go.
exactly.
You know how much
Let me take
property
my
I can buy in
2.5.
Detroit with 600 million? That's my city, baby. Literally, that's my city.
Exactly. I'm out of here. You can buy Detroit with 2.5
That's what
billion
I'm
right now.
saying. It's like, what are
Like
you talking about?
literally.
I'm out. I'm going. I'm good. Like, what? We all
And
got
I can do
different.
the
We all
same
got
with the
different goals.
we all got different goals. And on top of that, the stress that comes from this. I mean, these are young, essentially young people. They're not 60, 70, 80-year-old billionaires that's just in it because, like Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, they're just some greedy motherfuckers. They're so greedy. That is Mortimer and your boy
Yeah,
from,
they're 90
yeah,
billion, Mortimer. We
yeah.
need 91 billion this year.
Yeah, we need more. We need more. And it's like, nah, my goal is 1 billion. Once I hit that, I'm pretty much tapped out. Y'all can catch me on an island somewhere.
Well, kids, if you would have invested in Pepsi in 1921, you might have made it to where I am one day. The 10 best stocks of 2022. Pepsi, if you would have got it in 1931.
Yeah, exactly.
Coca-Cola, if you would have got it in 1914.
Oh, and by the way, if you're a woman or if you're a minority, this message isn't for you.
Truth Beliefs, what's going on? Can you hear us? Hey, welcome to the show. What you got for us? Truth Beliefs, what's going on? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? I don't think you can hear us yet, but you are live. So when you can, just start talking. We'll bring you back up to the screen. Until then, 800 victims of massive Bitconnect fraud to receive $17 million in restitution. This story is important, not just to report on Bitconnect, but just to point out two things. A, as we're seeing here in the FTX and Terra Luna and all this other stuff, this is why we're saying like this whole back and forth of the courts and all the rest is kind of a non-starter because this isn't even going to be a factor until the year 2025, 2026, if you're lucky. A, and then B, everyone's not going to get money. Only a small amount of people are going to get money. And I mean, look no further than the most recent use case right now. The millions will be distributed among the select number of victims, but thousands more were impacted by the $2.4 billion fraudulent scheme, and that's actually a low number. I remember those numbers being way higher than that.
A little bit more,
yeah. But a group of crypto fraud victims of the Bitconnect investment scheme will see some respite from the multi-billion-dollar fraud scheme after a court ordered they receive a share in a $17 million restitution. Bitcoin's what's going on in this Bitconnect fraud case? And it's pretty cool to see that people are actually making headway here, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Around 800 victims of the scheme from 40 countries will be able to receive a small slice of the $17 million restitution, a term that refers to returning property or the monetary value of losses to the proper owner. So 17 million divided by 800, that's a little bit less, a little bit more. It's about 200K. So, yeah, it's good enough, I guess, if that's what they had on the platform. But I'm sure there's people that lost more. They noted that Bitconnect was a purported crypto lending platform. Crypto lending, here we go. They were just too early. They had the Bitconnect trading bot, volatility software that claimed it would net investors. I mean, it was literally the most Ponzi scheme setup.
Do you remember the people arguing with us on our show? Like, people will literally come here and tell us how, like, for one, here's the thing. We didn't cover Bitconnect like that because literally, like Terra, like FTX, like Bitconnect, we thought was obvious fraud. There was no need to cover it. FTX, SBF, I thought it was obvious. He didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't look at the numbers until it was too late. But literally, Bitconnect was one of the things, like, early on, we briefly covered it, like, within, like, a sentence or two. And then as it got heat, we started covering more. But people were already pushing back on us. And our whole thing was like, listen, for one, no one can guarantee you a return daily. Nobody can guarantee. What if all the electricity goes out one day with a thunderstorm? Like, no one can guarantee the that any type of return on your investment daily. Not only that, they said it compounded, which made no sense because if you actually did the numbers, people would become trillionaires after like 3 to 5 years in this program. So like just literally the math of it was like the math ain't mathing, bro. If you add this up, as it shows you here, a promised return of average daily compounding interest of 1% or 3,700% annually. So if someone puts in $100,000, how much money are they making annually, people? Multiply that by 3 to 5. Come on, like that's just 100K. So my fault, Bitcoin. This is ridiculous when it
Oh no,
happened.
you're exactly right, and that's the thing about Bitconnect at the time between 2014 and 2016 when I was doing most of it solo. That every time I tried to consult somebody on Bitcoin, the first 30 minutes was an argument about Bitconnect or USI Tech or
I'm a USI Tech,
currency
yeah.
or what was it was a few other ones that were scams, obvious scams. But that's why when King was telling me about doing YouTube, about doing the show, I was with it because at first I really didn't think people were that stupid. I was under the impression, as somebody who reads and actually does research, that everybody could look at something that obvious of a scam and just be like, oh yeah, nah, that's not it. But again, once you start educating and consulting people, you understand some people didn't know anything, which obviously led to us
And,
being in business now. But BitConnect was the biggest one where we have people arguing us to the ground, not like a quick, all right, maybe you guys are right. No, my family's life savings are in this, and
for
we're going
real,
to
there
become
was some
rich.
real life
And
savings.
you're trying to discourage people from becoming rich, and you're trying to keep people from making money. And we were literally sitting there looking at them like, dog, who are you talking to? I even
But
tried to meet Bitcoin Trey in Hollywood. I tried
I
to hit
remember
him
that
up to be
one.
like, stop, nigga, stop. You're going to go to jail if you keep doing this. It's an obvious scam. Just stop. And he wouldn't link up with me. And when he's literally right down the street in Hollywood, but he wouldn't show up. But to see people get their money back after all this time is better than Mount Gox. At least Mount Gox still ain't paid people back.
And what I will say is, I won't. You know what? While it was stupid, I won't blame it on stupidity as I will on just sheer ignorance. Like it was straight up stupidity too, but I would say ignorance because it was one of those things where people were getting paid out and stuff, and they're just like, "This is the thing to save myself and my family's life," and I'm going for it. So,
Yeah.
The sad thing about it was, unfortunately, this is again launched in 2016. People, we're talking about sub 400 Bitcoin prices. I think when I got with Zay. Well, we started at about 380, 370
Yeah.
Bitcoin price, $370, $390.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, while we're talking Bitcoin and even select altcoins, I mean, XRP was around. I remember XRP was like 0.0008 cent or 6 cent or 0.008 at one point or whatever. So less than a penny. So there's other interesting projects around, but people were just screaming Bitconnect. But one thing I like to point out too is, again, 2 to 3 years is a good run in this space. 2016 collapsed in 2018. People, 2 to 3 years. I'm going to keep pointing out to you, like, that's the run. That's literally the run in the space. When you start hitting on 4 to 5, it becomes like, what's the word? Like, when things are about to explode, the pressure is building almost. I feel like that's what it gets in year 4 or 5, unless it's like a legitimate business. They're doing good work, but usually, yeah, I mean, they're dead after about 3 years. They might still have a name and a heartbeat, but trust me, they're not moving around. They're just laying in the bed somewhere. They out of there. But this is crazy. This whole BitConnect thing when it happened.
Yeah.
38 months.
Yeah, and this is the thing too. The dude, Glenn Alcaro, he had to pay back 24 million. I'm pretty sure he had well over $100 million, right?
I mean, they was giving out Lambos on stage.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure he was well over 100 last I remember. And the thing is, he got sentenced to jail for 3 years. Would you go to jail for 3 years for $100 million?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that's why people do it. That's the point. Because they're like, well, you know, if I do make enough money, it kind of won't matter because when I get out, I'll still be young enough to be able to spend it. All right, well, let's go forward and let's do it. And people wonder why people keep coming up with these schemes. In the next market, there's going to be some AI, artificial intelligence, bro. That's weird as hell. Doesn't blink like Mark Zuckerberg. Has weird hair like Sam. He's gonna come out like a genius, talking about artificial intelligence, this and quantum resistant, and blah 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 blah. And then people are gonna get smacked down by them again. It happens every bull market because people are greedy. Humans can't help it. You literally cannot help the greed that you have. And even if you can help it, the new people that come into the market can't help it because they haven't been in the shitcoin casino yet. Remember your first time in the casino, King?
Oh yeah, I was trying to get somebody on. They just logged off, bro. But go ahead. Never mind.
Are you good? Now you remember your first time winning in the casino? Remember that?
Oh, ecstatic. Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same psychology, people, and it's just gonna keep happening. And this dude, he got his 3 years. When he comes back, you won't even. I mean, he might be out now. When did he get sentenced? 2018, 2019.
Yeah, he might be. He might be. Really quick. So Reggie Middleton said Hex is the most obvious scams, and brothers have put life savings into it. So Bitconnect is nothing in comparison. Don't hit Bitconnect and give Hexkins and pass. He also added at least Bitconnect offered to pay in Bitcoin. What is Hex offering to pay? Inflation dominated in the Hex tokens. The joke that's just not funny. Listen, Hexkins, if you're out there, call up y'all boss. What's his name? Richard. Tell Richard to stop ducking the fade and get on a verbal debate with Reggie Middleton. This is what I'm talking about. Where is the red flag? And Richard Hart, I got to call you out on this. Here's the red flags. Once again, Gemini, Earn, owe creditors. They're not being quiet. They're saying, hey, yeah, we do owe creditors, but that's because DCG Genesis owes us because that's what we're doing it with. They're doing tweets. They're open and available. They're on stage doing karaoke. You can reach them and talk to them. DCG, Barry Silbert, you can't talk to him. SEC, you cannot talk to them. Richard Hart, why can't Reggie talk to you about your project so you can tell everyone why it's not a security and you can get even more investors with more money off a 30-minute conversation, unless you're lying and hiding something. So, yeah, I have to say right now, Richard, it is looking like a scam at this point. You can't even talk to the man about it. It's kind of crazy. We got Truth Beliefs in here. True Beliefs, what's the word? What you got for us today? He said he was back working. I don't know, Truth. Can't hear you right now. Can't hear you.
It might be. I don't know.
I'm not sure that's a screenshot or frozen.
Yeah.
Truth still not working, brother. But you can try once more, man. We're still here. But yeah, Richard, stop ducking the fade, man. Come holler at Reggie. I think we all would love to see that debate. And I think from these two notable people in crypto, also, it's also important debate. I can understand why it's some people might not want to fight. It's kind of like two heavyweights fighting in the prime, or a heavyweight avoiding another heavyweight in the prime. You hear it when they get older and they do the YouTube interviews. And they was like, no, I was going to wait for that boy to age out before I was going to fight him. Or even in rap, when Jay-Z was like, shit, I saw 50 Cent coming and I was about to let him have it for a summer or two before I came back. Like people see people getting their peaks or getting their wave or whatever, and it's like, oh, they got it right now. I'm going to let them have it. And to me, that's kind of what it looks like, because, again, if not, why not unify the belts? Why would you duck a fight? Knock them out. Do your rap battle, win. Like, why are you ducking a fade? If the winner gets to have it all and the loser is going to be looked at as someone who doesn't know something about cryptocurrency or their project, why duck the fade? So with that being said, Hexkins, y'all be waving your flag here all the time. We've allowed the flag waving. Call up Richard. Tell him to stop ducking Reggie. This is getting kind of whack at this point.
King, we the Hexkins entered the chat. As soon as you mentioned their name, we summoned the Hexkins. We got one guy here says the fact that Hex is still coming out of haters' mouth after 3 years shows people are salty because Hex is winning.
Hex is down 90% right now.
How many times have we said most crypto projects have 3 to 5 years? You got 3 to 5 years to prove yourself.
Hex was different, right?
Yeah, Hex is different though. And on top of that, I mean, I already think Hex is a scam. I don't think there's any real argument for it. The main thing I like is that the personalities of the Hexkins are so goddamn hilarious. It's so funny seeing them make songs together and have meetings together and how much they believe in each other. I like communities of people that believe what they're talking about. Like I said, I'm not a religious person, but I like hanging around religious people because they really believe what they're saying. I don't like grifters and people that's on the fence and blah, blah. Somebody that really believes in what they do. So with the Hexkins, I want to see them keep going for a little bit because they really believe it, and the fall will be that much sweeter. It would be so much funnier.
Listen, hold on.
Sacrifice something for 15 years. You think Hex is going to be around 15? Hell, Ethereum might not be around for 15 years. Yeah. And that's what it's built on. So I just like to see the community, when they come out in floods and try to defend it. Defend it. Hey, stand on your word. That's why we give Jams a platform.
I thought Jake Fever was being for real. He was joking. He said, Reggie, Richard would debate you once you debate Cryptonomics. I think Reggie has debated Cryptonomics like 3 times in chat. Cryptonomics, you need to listen. Yes, you need to turn on that video camera and come on live and debate Reggie too, man. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm all for it. I think it would be good for the space. If everyone's on the up and up and everyone's honest, there should be no losers. But if someone is now on the up and up or not honest, then yes, there will be a clear-cut loser and winner, and it probably would affect the trajectory of that person's professional standing and monetary value here in the space, which is cool. Like, let's let it go. So I don't know. Let's get this debate going.
Mr. Hart buy some more outfits. Don't stop the
Hilarious.
money train. I want to see more outfits.
Listen, all I'm going to say about Bitconnect, just remember for those who did invest in Bitconnect, this is what you invested in. For those who want to know where that soundbite comes from, this was the Bitconnect. This was like their wrap up after the year. They were giving out Lambos. This is shortly before they failed, kind of at the peak when everybody realized this is Ponzi. Even my man's in the back know they lying. Look at him. He the real owner, the one with the straight face back there.
Hey, hey, hey.
That's what y'all invested in.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, there we go. This is the project that was going to take over Bitcoin, by the way.
Hey, hey, hey. What's up, Bitconnect? Whoa, what's up? No. Bitconnect! Wow! Bitconnect!
My fault, y'all eardrums. I try to warn y'all. I said my fault for the eardrums.
Oh, hey,
bro, people invested in that.
You know, he did that. He said, Bitconnect changed my family's life. It's not a scam. It changed my family's life. He's saying the same thing Hexagons are saying. It changed my family's life. It can't be a scam. If you were early to the scam, it doesn't mean that it's not a scam. They need your testimonials to be able to say.
People don't know. People have never seen that clip all the way through. I know it too. That's why like, we need to play this for you all to understand. They said that should be the intro song or something. I agree. Like, that was crazy. All right, last few stories here. Hey, listen. Today's not the first day you heard it. You probably heard it from us literally at this point a year or two ago. But we want to make sure we're calling this out nice and clear since we haven't called things out. In fact, I see what we need to do too, Zay, for the views and everything. This is what we have to do. We need to do a pre-recorded video and actually edit it the right way with the fun stuff in there, and then do the SEO stuff, the algo it. But we need to do a video where it's like whycrypto.com, like the CoffeeZilla do, like the whycrypto.com will be the next FTX. Because like I guess we need to do a whole video on it. People, crypto.com will be the next FTX. Like, I mean, if not, I would say they're going to be very lucky to escape. Honestly, it surprised me that they've gotten this far. I'm assuming they gotten this far because no one's been paying attention. But because of FTX now, Gemini, DCG, I think the SEC is going to come back around and look at crypto.com once the Lakers are playing on another big stage, big game type of deal. But this is crypto.com CEO announcing 20% staff cut. Did not account for FTX collapse. I'm going to let Zay go off on this one because he started going off on this before the show. We feel the same way. But again, this is the crypto.com CEO, crypto.com arena. After he fires 20% people, he says because he did not account for the FTX collapse.
Well, first things first. My first beef with crypto.com is that they slapped their name on an iconic stadium. That is Staples Center. That is the Forum. That is the home of the Lakers. And you slap crypto.com on the side of it when nobody knew how the hell you all got their money after the rebrand from before. That's my first beef. The second beef with this actual announcement is that how in the hell do you have billions of dollars, all these consultants, all these people working for you, and you had no way of knowing that you shouldn't or that you wouldn't account for another company's failure? People, every single bear market, there are companies that fail. You do not want to over leverage yourself in these companies. That would have been line one of a consultation if I talked to crypto.com. Easily. In a bear market, the assets price is going to go down and companies are going to fail. Do not over leverage yourself. That's point number one. So who the hell do y'all have working for crypto.com? Because that's just sad. Second thing is, right here when he says, we announced a difficult decision to reduce our global workforce by 20%. As I shared with the team today, while we continue to perform well, market conditions and recent industry events have made this the right decision for the company at this time. We don't say that it's bad that you have to cut people because in bad times, yes, that does exist. What I'm saying is if your excuse is you did not know something like FTX could happen, that is a problem. And Chris, the guy who runs it, whoever he is, nobody can really find information on him. He needs to switch up whoever's giving him information because that would have been easy to spot. Of course, now, FTX, Voyager, Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, this is not new, people. All the Bitconnects and all the ICOs that failed, that was before. We've seen other projects die during the bear market right alongside of it. There's a graveyard of dead projects. This is simply you are either in on it or you are incompetent. Either way, I don't want anything to do with you.
And then again, one thing I just want to call back to, because just the ridiculousness of this company, it's the same thing as FTX and stuff. People, how did they get the money? Except for this one, we actually know how they got the money. How are they where they at? Like, how did these deals happen? Lakers arena, like, did you all not do your due diligence? Turns out, no. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at this. Again, we covered this, I'm pretty sure, in the history of cryptocurrency in the space in our masterclass, but really quick. This is from 2018, July 5th, 2018. Crypto Visa card company Monaco just spent millions to buy crypto.com. Really quick, Monaco had an ICO, I think late 2017, early 2018, had an ICO. The ICO did not do anything. It didn't do what it promised, but it had a lot of customer funds. They paid some fines, and then they rebranded, okay? So our thing was, well, first of all, you did an ICO, and you received money, and you didn't do what you're going to say. That is fraudulent in and of itself, all right? I'm not saying illegal or I'm saying anything criminal. I'm just saying it is what it is, all right? But again, this article points out this highly prized domain name, of course, crypto.com. When it was sold, it was registered in 1993 by Matt Blaze, a professor of computer and information science at the University of Pennsylvania, who also sits on the board of directors of the Tor project. Again, if you've taken our coaching classes, you know all about Tor. The domain has attracted a vast amount of interest. He turned down offers for years until he accepted the offer from Monaco that may have been up to a $10 million plus deal for that domain name. So Monaco, again, did the ICO, got a bunch of money and didn't do shit with it that they told you they're going to do. And then they used that money to buy the domain name crypto.com and rebrand their entire business. Now, don't get it twisted. Genius move from the business point of view. But for actual cryptocurrency and some of the things that's going on in this space, not so much. Surprise, surprise. Monaco was based out of Hong Kong. So, of course, China's backing. Didn't see that coming. As I said, who are these people? Where do they work? Where do they work at? Who do they work for? How did they get the money? They finished their ICO. Okay, so it was in June of 2017. So at the peak of the ICO cycle, with the company raising what was then worth $25 million in crypto. Fast forward today, they said the firm's close to $200 million on his balance sheets. I can tell you what, people, it's not enough. It's not enough money. I'm gonna tell you how quick I just came up with that already, how I analyze this. Let's say I didn't know anything else about the background of crypto.com. I would already know they're in trouble because where's the story? Okay. So I take that back. I will take that back. This is in 2018.
This is 2018. Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, them numbers ain't numbering. Hey, I was like, hold on. Okay, that was in 2018. That's why I had to pause for a second. But again, the splashy purchase, part of a rebrand from Monaco that would see his parent company become crypto.com. I mean, great business. They made his parent company crypto.com. And then the Visa card and the wallet app and all that stuff, of course, became like a thing of the past. So I don't know. But it was pretty interesting to see. Here was the stakes they were doing on their cards back in the day: obsidian black, icy white. You see, you had the stake stuff. So yeah, nothing really happened. Nothing happened, and they were allowed to just rebrand. So that's why this is kind of sketch to us as far as some of the things they're doing right now, and if they'll be able to keep up with the market. But as Bitcoins, they said, if you all, as a company this large, didn't have the wherewithal to say an FTX could happen, especially after Terra Luna just happened. You're saying nothing else this year can happen. I don't think if they don't have the wherewithal to see that, they don't have the wherewithal to see this thing through by and large, I think. And that's if everything is on the up and up, which I highly doubt. If they're beginning of the year, they're cutting 20%. That's what people do at the end of the year. They're doing it at the beginning of the year. So I don't know, a lot to take from this, but we'll continue to check it out. I don't know. It's interesting.
Hey man, Chinese money is long, man. They can just print it at will, and when they send their investors, it usually sticks around. So
hilarious. They said LeBron approved it, so China. You guys are hilarious.
Hey man, the Chinese money's long, man.
Oh man. Oh, who over here is talking smack? Somebody in the yeah, Grit. I think you are new, Grit. We've already we interviewed Richard Hart on here. That's why we welcome him back. But yeah, Grit, you got the link at the top. Call in live. Call in live. Have the video on. Listen, We don't do that here. We don't keep the comments going back and forth for too long, especially on a Friday. Feel free to call in live. The link of the chat's up there. Have the video on and tell us why we're wrong about Hex. In fact, I'm sure Richard or Reggie will call in right now. He might debate you. So, call in and let us know. Hey, Gigi said it's time to get off. All right.
She broke out. She broke out.
I heard her. You got me locked in? Come here. All right. I got issues. Worst case, I'll finish it. Malcolm, we will update the Apple podcast this weekend as well. All right. Last story, but certainly not least. Gigi said, or last two stories, but certainly not least. Gigi wants her dad back. First, really quick, Nexo is in the news. Crypto lender Nexo sues Bulgaria after those office raids. We talked about it yesterday. The Bulgarian office raids. Nexo has been on and off a few times, but Nexo denied reports that the firm has experienced massive outflows amid those raids and an ongoing investigation against the firm. Again, they could be telling the truth. Part of the gang's way of operating, as the government knows everybody's going to believe them first, so they will put it out there, hey, we're investigating them, we're raiding them, they don't have your money, and they'll make you do a bank run to make that statement true, and then they say, see, we told you, you guys need to be shut down. So Nexo could be telling the truth, but they've complained that the investigation, the actions of the law enforcement authorities against them were wrong, and they're preparing to file a lawsuit against the authorities to seek compensation for damages caused by the abrupt police interruption. And then a report is also saying the police may have not actually provided a search warrant for hours, while inspectors actually never identified themselves also. So really quick before you hit the Zay, I would say if they didn't have a warrant and they didn't identify themselves, then I don't trust Nexo anyway. Why y'all letting this random ass people come up in y'all company, go through y'all shit?
Wasn't no shots fired?
Hey, bro, what? Listen, I'm about to take this to Texas or Florida. Yeah. People, ain't nobody just coming up in your company, going through your shit without no paperwork. No, wait, what? Nah, today one of us got to go. Something's got to happen today. So I'm with you on that. But what are your thoughts about this? And do you think Nexo will actually win in a lawsuit against the police?
I actually think they have a chance. But the problem is Bulgaria, as Gaia knows, Bulgaria is probably mostly probably corrupt. It's just they can say they have these rules, but if you got enough money, you can do what you want. And I'm sure that Nexo, I don't think they're gonna get in a lot of trouble. I think they just want to get paid off, and this is how you get it. You go into the business, you break everything with bats, and then you make them pay up. And like I said, it's just the mafia all over again. It's just mafia tactics.
There it is. Not much more to it. But again, this would be an interesting story to follow, because I tell you what, it's one thing if a bully bullies you. Sometimes, for those who have been bullied, where you take a lick and you just go get some more lunch money the next day. But the minute you swing back, I think I've seen this. There's two types of bullies, or three types. I saw somebody say it was a podcast. I can't remember who. It's like the fake types. You're gonna swing back, they're gonna leave it alone. But it's the real types too, where you're gonna swing back and you're in a fight now. Nexo just swung back. The government's a real bully. I think they're about to be in a fight now. So even if they're right, they could end up being wrong, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens, but we know these things take years. And what I mean by they are right, but they're wrong, they can win a lawsuit 3 or 4 years from now, but will their company still be alive and have customer volume remains to be seen, but hopefully so. All right, last but not least, we want to end on a great news story this Friday. Miss Universe contestant represents El Salvador with Bitcoin-inspired costume. She said, you don't need a sash to walk around dressed as cash, said the Miss Universe 2022 announcer, as Alejandra Guajardo showed off her currency-themed costume. That is right. Actress and model Alejandra Guajardo represented El Salvador in the preliminary competition of the Miss Universe 2022 pageant by wearing a costume featuring Bitcoin during her walk across the stage. She tagged Salvadorian president, of course, Nayib Bukele, while she showed herself walking gracefully with a giant. I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. Is this Zay? What's this word? Oh, I'm not even sharing the article. Hold on. What's this word here? Is not colon, is it? Colon?
Oh, a giant cologne.
Cologne. There it is. One of the country's accepted currencies into 2001, strapped to her back, adorned with cocoa beads in her right hand. The pageant contestant carries a staff topped with a large physical Bitcoin. So here it is. Let's take a peek of it. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, she's killing it. I'm missing. I'm over here watching on my own. My fault, everybody.
Represents El Salvador's history of currency. For a long time, cocoa was used, and then the cologne, until it was replaced by the U.S. dollar. In 2021, El Salvador became the first country in the world to use Bitcoin as legal tender. You don't need a sash to walk around dressed as cash like El Salvador.
That's actually super cool. That was really cool to see.
That's super dope. Yeah, that's actually dope.
Yeah, so I mean, shout out to El Salvador, shout out to Miss Universe. Awesome. I mean, the story was in the headline. That's really cool to see. Bitcoin Zay, did you have anything else? I hear Gigi. I was going to try to get Truth's Beliefs in here really quick. I think his camera might be working. But if you had anything before you had to go ahead and shout out as well, Bitcoin Zay.
Nothing from me. Happy Friday the 13th. Hope everybody enjoy it. And yeah, great stories this week. Definitely.
There it is. And last but not least, Truth's Belief, what's going on? You working? You good to go?
Hey, you all can hear me?
Oh, perfect. We got you now. What's the word? What you got for us? You bring us out today.
You gotta end it off on this. I keep talking Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. Why can't we build on top of Bitcoin though?
Oh, Zay, I'll let you have it.
You mean build on top as far as like DeFi builds?
Yeah, DeFi and everything.
Yeah, we support that. I mean, that's one of the main classes in our coaching class is DeFi on Bitcoin. Bitcoin itself is more than just layer one that you can use for purchases or whatever, or store value. It's also technology. You can build on top of it. Yeah, we talk about Lightning Network, talk about layer two protocols. There's stable coins like with RSK. There's DeFi like with Stacks. You build smart contracts. You can have NFTs on Bitcoin. All that. We discuss that all the time.
Low-key RSK has been building for a while too. They're just quiet. Yeah. They are quiet, but they've been building for, I'll give them some like shit since 2016, 2017, something like that.
Yeah, our last coaching class was on Sovereign, which is a DeFi platform. So yeah, we definitely support Bitcoin as the base layer.
So it's places like Instadot where you can go deposit Bitcoin, get collateral and debt swap and do things of that nature, because I'm not familiar right now. Like I get in y'all DeFi class at this point. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, that's why if you join our coaching class, if you get the master class, you join it. We coach 3 times a week. We already showed at least I think 3 different DeFi platforms, as well as with Lightning Network. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot you can do with Bitcoin. It's just it moves slowly because money is not instant. With technology, you move fast and break things. With money, you have to have security. So you move slowly, but then once you get to the next stage, if we have Bitcoin DeFi, what's the point of DeFi on other chains?
So what technology, I know you named a lot of platforms, but what did they use to build their platforms? Because I know
you mean building on top of Bitcoin?
Yeah.
They use, so their chains are different, but they're layer 2. So some chains, they use Bitcoin as settlement, which is Stacks. They use Bitcoin as a settlement layer. Some build alongside of it something called side chains, which you have that as well. So there's different ways to build it to involve Bitcoin as a layer 1.
I was this last question though. I was just actually talking like the technology, like coding with Solidity or learning those different type of things, like blockchain engineering, building on top of that with the Bitcoin. Like if I could find and use tools, or if that's in the master class, I go ahead hop in there and learn that too.
Oh yeah, so C++ is one. For Stacks, the language they use is Clarity. They actually have Clarity. Yeah, and they actually have a guy I just met. They have an app coming out called No Code Clarity, where you'll be able to build smart contracts without having to know how to code. So yeah, all of that stuff is out right now.
All right, that's about it. That's all I want. Ain't too much smoke, you know.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, bro.
All right,
much appreciated. Truth Believe. Have a happy Friday. Happy Friday. All right, last couple of comments before we call today. First of all, I was about to reply, but Grit Grains said he's been in crypto since 2017. This is one of his favorite channels. Love watching us, but we're wrong about Hex to do our research. So 2 things, Grit. We have a bag of Hex, and we're fucking down 80% or 90% like the rest of your community. So stop it, why don't you? And get on camera next time, because we've been very objective, as we always are. I made mention early on when Jam started repeatedly coming on, I think after the 3rd or 4th time, when he kept talking about Hex, I said, well, if our audience, if our community is going to get into it, I will get into it. And I did get into it, and I took a big L. So what are you talking about? This is being objective still. So no, and I'm not saying anything negative about Hex. I'm saying I want to know more information about the project, and not from someone at the same level as me. I want to know from one of those founders like Richard, who has come on to talk so much about it, and he's been on other platforms to talk about it. Now there's someone at his level in the crypto industry who says, yeah, bring them on. I have objections. XRP has sent members from their team to do it against Zay when he was against that Matt Hammer or Ban, whatever Warhammer name, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
We've done it with many projects online and offline, behind the scenes and stuff. So we're not asking a lot by saying, hey, this project founder who's online 24/7 showing you the money he's spending from the project can come on and talk to someone who has an objective point of view, who has a patent in the industry about the project. If that is hating on Hex and everything else, then yeah, scam for real at this point, because that's crazy. That's crazy. Other than that,
I'm not debating it. I'm only debating people that's on CBD side. I'm past Bitcoin versus crypto for the most part.
Wow. Oh. Well, no, never mind. This says it all. Grit. This says it all. You can't be a follower of us like that. The purpose of all of crypto is to make money. If you say otherwise, you're not being honest with yourself. Lie, wrong, and totally disagree. No. And maybe, in fact, maybe right. For crypto, yes. For Bitcoin, no. Again, I got into the space personally off of Bitcoin because I've been traveling abroad a lot. I couldn't have access to my money. Then the banks started doing weird shit when I wanted to go in and spend my money at casinos because I do like gambling. They wanted to ask me why I wanted to take out so much of my money. These were all the things that made me scared to have my money in a bank, which is why I went to Bitcoin initially. Ask Zay. He told me to put all my money into Bitcoin. I said, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go slow with this thing because I didn't understand or believe in the price or the investment part about it. I like the technology part about it. So no, once again, you're wrong on that as well. You need to re-educate yourself, man. We're definitely in this for the wrong reasons. And this may not be the best source of information for you sometimes. I don't know. Maybe we got our altcoin days. Yeah. Come on next Friday. Come live. Other than that, I want to give one more shout out. PFC Wells Trek made a great comment. Don't forget, folks, one more week before Martin Luther King Day. Then the regulators come back and we get to see what's really happening this year with cryptocurrency. Other than that, smash that like and share. You got anything else, Bitcoin Zay?
That's all for me. Happy Friday, people.
There it is. Cheers, and we will